Hi, I'm Nate Phelps from Press-Gazette Media. We're here at the EAA grounds in Oshkosh as part of AirVenture 2013. We're here with Joe Masessa, the owner and pilot of this OV-1D Mohawak behind us. This was an Army reconnaissance aircraft made by Grumman. And Joe, you know what? I'm going to let you tell us about it. Tell us about the aircraft and how it came to your beer.
What I'd really like you to know is that this aircraft, along with about 30 others, did 10,000 hours of reconnaissance in Gulf War I in Iraq. And that's after that action, they were decommissioned. And in 95, the Army and the government gave these to museums. Gotcha. And after the museums got tired of maintaining them or ran out of money, they started getting into civilian hands. So I'm the fourth civilian owner of 10 Victor Delta.
Gotcha. This particular airframe, this aircraft, what other uses had it been applied to in civilian use, and why did you want an OV-1?
There was not any real civilian use for this aircraft. It's a reconnaissance aircraft. As you can tell, there are multiple bays under the aircraft and doors. There's a plexiglass nose that has cameras. So mainly it was a reconnaissance spy aircraft. Many people didn't know this existed until after the wars. They began seeing this aircraft and said, what did it do? Well, besides doing reconnaissance missions, it had to protect itself. So on the wings are what we call hard points. There were 3 on each wing. This airplane had 50 caliber machine gun pods, Zuni rocket pods, and 250 and 500-pound bombs. And it was very successful at not only defending itself, but in close air support for the troops on the ground. In fact, one Grumman Mohawk shot down a MiG-15 in the Vietnam War.
Wow! So you got prop versus jet in that one. That must have been quite a tale from that aviator.
What it was is the jet came by, saw this thing at low level, and went around. The Mohawk followed it, cut it off, and released a salvo of everything it had. And by luck, some of those rockets hit the MiG-15. Wow. I'll bet that pilot. I hope he lived, but I bet he never lived that down. That he got shot down by a turboprop.
Yeah, exactly. So how did you end up with this? Where did you get this? And what inspired you to say, hey, I'm going to put out the cash outlay for this?
Okay, well, I've been a Warbird of America member for about 10 years. That's the main thing. I'm an EAA Warbird member, and I've been coming to this event for over 10 years, and seeing this made me want to fly one of these aircraft. Being a turboprop pilot for many years, I saw this at an air show in Teterboro, New Jersey. And like many people, I went up to and said, what is this? Who knew they had something like this? Well, when I saw it was a twin turboprop, I said, I can fly it. Now I have to find one. Took me a year to find 2 that were for sale, and this was the better one. It was in a snowbank pretty much in Ogden, Utah for 3 years. I actually bought it over the phone. I didn't even go look at it. My broker said it's a good plane, and the price was right, so I sent the check. After that, it was quite a challenge to find anybody who knew how to fly it or would fly it from Ogden, Utah to Florida, to the only maintenance shop in the world which can service it in Lantana, Florida. Then I got an ex-military guy named Denny Eglin who was about 5,000 hours in these in Germany and Korea, and he came to Florida about every other weekend for about 3 months to give me instruction in it. So I get instruction from an Army pilot.
Wow. You know, that said, for you, what is it like flying this aircraft? I mean,
it's like sitting on the end of a very powerful broomstick with 2,800 horsepower, 1,400 there, 1,400 there. A lot of power, but you got to keep the power up because it's an 18,000-pound aircraft. It's basically a flying brick. So you're sitting at the front of a flying brick, so it's very twitchy, but it's got good control, good maneuverability, as long as you've got airspeed and altitude. If you don't have that, you're a dead brick.
I'm guessing, does it have a pretty high stall speed then as well, too, with that weight ratio? Or
No, it's not that bad, but it's got a high sink rate when the power's off. If you keep the power on, the stall speed of this is only about 80 knots. But you've got lots of wings. You've got lots of aircraft surface that aid the lift, and secondary ailerons that are hydraulically controlled.
And Joe, obviously, you brought this over here. You had a crush of people that came up to you right away. What's the general reaction to the aircraft, and what do you find when you show up to shows like EA and other places?
It's a fun plane to bring anywhere because it's an air show that moves wherever I go. Because you've never seen it because it was part of intelligence battalions. They did not publicize planes like this because they were doing secret nighttime missions. Just like I said, what is it and what does it do? It looks like it does a lot of things, and it does. It can do reconnaissance, close air support, high altitude photographic missions. It did all that after after they were decommissioned. They did use these for photographic missions of Mount St. Helens when that exploded. We've got some neat pictures of the Mohawks photographing Mount St. Helens. And I believe the U.S. Fire Service used them a little bit, too, to scout for fires.
Well, Joe, that's kind of what I had for you. I mean, you've got a lot of information, a lot of interesting tidbits on this. Anything else you want to touch on or add that I didn't ask you about?
So much I could tell you. It would take 3 hours. Well, let's just say that it's a great aircraft made by Grumman, and it lasted from the 1959 to 1991. That's an extensive service life of any aircraft. Just goes to show we build pretty good airplanes here, and Grumman builds a great aircraft. You can see it fly today in the air show.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, great. Well, we've been here with Joe Masessa, the owner and pilot here of this Grumman OV-1D Mohawk behind us. He'll be having the aircraft up later today in the air show. And keep an eye out on the website. We'll bring you another story at 1 o'clock. Oh, I'm sorry. We've got one more thing here, Joe.
Follow the plane on MohawkAirshows.com. Video and by video flying inside the airplane, outside, and air show schedules.
Fantastic. Well, great.
MohawkAirshows.com.
That's MohawkAirshows.com. So
there we go.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks, Joe.
We're looking for a sponsor.
He says they're also looking for a sponsor. But I'm Nate Phelps from the Press-Gazette Media.
Anything else?
Yeah, from Press-Gazette Media. We'll have another story for you here at 1 o'clock from the grounds here at EAA.
Mechanics.
And he's also apparently a part-time mechanic.
No, we're looking for them.
Oh, they're looking for part-time mechanics.
Part-time Mohawk mechanics.
So
They're
good.
They're getting hard to find.
Apparently. So good. Well, cool. Hey, Joe, thanks.
All right.
Thanks, guys.